Hey guys, Vortex Line 75 here, coming at you with another Warframe video of how to Vauban. So, here he is. Let's cruise on down here and take a look. I got a couple different builds here. They're all relatively close to the same because he's got a pretty straightforward build. Now, unlike most other frames, building for strength is not going to do much for you with Vauban. It's actually going to hinder your playstyle. Because his abilities are tactical and going to be more of support for the group, but also give you a lot more survivability if done correctly. So, first configuration we have, and I mean you can run shield disruption if you'd like to. Generally speaking, you're going to run corrosive projection though, for most cases. You got cunning drift for a little bit of power range, prime continuity. Now if you have prime flow you can run that as well. I don't have mine maxed yet. You would have to put one more form in if you have it maxed out though. So we got overextended for a little bit of range. You are going to lose strength that way. A little bit of power efficiency, some more range, duration, more duration, a little bit of minus range there. So you're going to want more duration than range because one, you're not running efficiency other than streamline, so you're not going to be running fleeting expertise because you lose even more duration. The duration is going to be more important than the efficiency because just being able to cast a bastille and let it sit up for that amount of time without it having to re-pick up the enemies. With this build right here, you're going to get 42 seconds on your bastille. So it's repelling bastille when at max capacity has a 100% chance to repel new enemies. So the max that bastille can hold, I believe, is 4 enemies inside of it. This is going to push any new enemies away. So if you already have more than 4 inside of it, they're still going to run around. If you're running with someone like a Nidus or anything like that that has the ability to move enemies around, if they get pulled inside of it, they will be able to move still. The other thing that can still go through it is anything inside of a nullifier bubble. So there's a few things that are going to prevent this from working appropriately. Just make sure to communicate with your group if they don't understand how Vauban works, because a lot of people don't play him. Prime version takes a ton to build, probably the most resources of any frame to build because of the amount of oxium and the amount of nitane extract to build him. So what we have here, looking at bastille, creates an energy-based containment field which captivates the enemies into it. That's really going to be the ability that you use. Occasionally with this build I'll throw a vortex in the doorway which is going to pull them into it. I generally do that only if I'm running Tigris or another weapon that's going to give me a ranged hit, blast radius, something like that. Second build is exactly the same with the difference of running perpetual vortex. So vortex is your final ability. Let's take a look at it. Creates a whirling mass of energy that violently attracts enemies. So what it's going to do is suck all the enemies to it. This is great if you're running a 3-man group with a Trinity and a Nidus in it, because it's going to allow you to pull all the enemies into it. Nidus is going to be able to stop. So great utility for a group. And then perpetual vortex, duration is increased by 70% of its max for each additional vortex thrown into it. So you can essentially keep the vortex rolling, and with that amount of range at 184, that's going to give you a great amount of range to cover any doorway with it and keep it rolling. And like I said, if you have a Trinity with you that's giving you energy back, you're going to be able to do that in multiple doorways as well. So now, final build here. This is really only if I'm running with a Trinity I will run this build. And the main difference to it is it's going to lose a little bit of duration but instead give range. Now with this range right here at 250%, that is going to cover a circle that is going to prevent any projectiles from being able to reach you. So if you're in a defense mission with a Trinity, try this build out. It's going to cover, for anyone that's done the icy room defense there, it's going to cover that entire gigantic circle that falls through the floor. And then this also allows you to run rage and quick thinking, so it's going to give you a little more survivability. Rage converting 40% of damage on health to energy. Quick thinking drains your energy to stop lethal damage. So it's going to prevent you from dying, be able to keep you rolling through the mission, especially if you're running a trin that's going to give you some energy back. That's really it for the build itself. The other side of it, if you've seen my Trinity video, I'm running Sancti Tigris on Trinity. The reason I'm running Senoid Simulor instead is because of the energy return that you get. In case you're out of range of a Trinity or anything like that, then you're going to be able to still get a little bit of energy back, even by not shooting it, but just by using your melee weapon while it's equipped on your primary. Running Fragor, if you've got the attack speed to run it. I'm also running on my Syandana Arcane Strike, and I've got Prime Fury on, so with the attack speed I'm able to swing that thing pretty good with Berserker on it as well. So I'll go into builds of weapons at a later time. Last thing though with this, I do generally run Naramon with it. I know a lot of people choose to run Zeneric. You can do either, depending on what your party wants. Vazarin as well, so I'll go through Vazarin first. The big thing of this is you're going to be able to revive fallen allies instantly. That's the only one of all of these that you're going to want to recast every time it's up, because it does stack how many allies you're able to revive. With Zeneric, the big thing of that is going to be the energy overflow, so you're going to get energy back constantly throughout your entire mission. So great to run. I have ran it with Zeneric before. It does work, but what I choose to run it with is Naramon. The main reason is you're going to get a little bit more crit chance, and you're also going to get invisibility anytime you do a crit with a melee weapon. So there's the reason for running Fragor. You're swinging that. You're getting your energy return from the Senoid Simulor. You have the Simulor, which you can cast the Blast Radius Bubbles on, and it still does good damage even after the nerf to it. And then I'm running Twin Comac because it's a spray and pray weapon that allows you to hit a large area as well. And then you've got your Bastilles to still hold the enemies up. The only thing you have to worry about is nullifiers and anything getting pulled inside of it. Great defensive frame, great tactical frame, and a completely different play style than any other. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please post them. Thank you. Have a great day.